So we've already looked at inline citation and how that is referenced, and hopefully you've taken a little bit of time to let that information sink in, and also to have a look around our printable resource, which is the HCA referencing guide, and online at our website, which is constantly in the process of being updated. So material will be added to that all through the academic year. Now I wanted to start to look at the reference list and the bibliography. So just to make sure you understand the difference between the two, the reference list lists further details about all the research sources you've quoted in line in your essay. So every quotation, every paraphrase, every time you've cited something in the body of your essay, you will place that in the reference list with more information. And the bibliography lists further details of all the text you've read to inform your argument. So the way this works is you have your inline citation, followed by a reference list, which is headed up by the header reference list, and followed by a bibliography. And much of the bibliography will be a repetition of your reference list, but it's your chance as a researcher to let us assessors know that you've read more widely. You know, that other information, even though you haven't directly quoted it or paraphrased the material, you have read more than is cited in your essay. And both of these lists are presented in alphabetical order by the author's surname. There are specific ways of referencing all kinds of source material. So when you reference books, you'll reference with the author's surname, followed by the initials, followed by the year of the publication, followed by the title of publication, the edition, and if it's a first edition, there won't be an edition number, so you simply don't put anything in there. The publisher, the place of publication, and the page numbers. That's in the reference list only. If you're putting a book in the bibliography, you won't need to give the page numbers. If you're referencing a website, you need to start with the author or the corporate body, followed by the date of publication, if that's available, and that's often at the bottom of the website, followed by the last update or copyright date, followed by a title, that's of the page, followed by the URL, and followed by the date that you've last accessed the website, and you place that in square brackets. Now, there are lots of issues surrounding referencing. For one thing, there are many different referencing styles. Harvard, which we use, is also MLA. And institutions also have variations on how to present references. These are house styles. Likewise, within institution, each lecturer can also have slightly different expectations. So one lecture here for Pick 1, you might be asked to provide just a bibliography, not a reference list. That's absolutely fine. You need to read through your course modules carefully and find out exactly what that particular lecturer wants you to give. And the biggest issue surrounding referencing is the penalty for not referencing correctly can be severe. So you must make sure you do make an effort to reference. So tips here are do take a note of research material and where it came from. And I mentioned this in our research lecture, but use post-it notes to mark key texts. That's a good way of being able to backtrack and check where you found that information. Most people tend to reference as they go along, and there are also lots of kind of online websites that help you do this. Evernote is one. There's lots of actually specific referencing sites, and you can find more information about this on our website. Now, if you get stuck, if you have to reference an unusual source, use a trusted source on the internet to find out key information, and we would direct you to Anglia Ruskin Library. Their Harvard referencing guide is excellent, it's very clear. You'll find a way that suits you. The big thing is keep a track of where your research has come from. Personally, I set up a table in Word, and I use this to record my references. I also often just put little clippings kind of at the, I open a Word document, an empty Word document behind my essay as I'm writing it, and I make sure I sort of place my references on that empty Word document as I go along, and then I format them properly at the end. So here is my bibliography. Now, I haven't directly cited from any sources, so I don't have a reference list, but if we want to have a look at a book, here we go. That's Cottrell, that's her surname, S, title of the book, The Study Skills Handbook 2003. That's the second edition, and that's in Basingstoke, and the publisher is Palgrave Macmillan. Let's have a look at this one too. This is a website. The company is the Interaction Design Foundation, 2013. The page is the Internet Citation Maker. There's my URL, and that's my date of last access. So the information is on there. Now, what I would suggest you do is actually go back to our website and have a look around, because we've got up-to-date information on there and more comprehensive information than I can give you in this brief overview. I do hope, however, this has been helpful. I would also remember at this point that Student Services run a range of referencing workshops throughout the year. Now, these are aimed at small groups, so if you're very worried about referencing, do get in touch with Student Services in room 005, and I'm sure they'd be happy to help you. Thank you.